Hello and welcome. Today I'm joined by R. Michael Anderson. He's a Californian software entrepreneur. George Brown, marketing genius from North America. And Chris Wells, Group Sales Director for Nordic Eye Sales Accelerator. Okay, so today we're going to have some fun. Today we've asked a sales executive to call in and sell us their product. We've bleeped the name out for obvious purposes. And they're going to call into Chris. And Chris is going to take the call, and then we're going to analyze it and critique it. And afterwards, we're going to have we're going to do the call as we think it should be.
Oh, hi Chris, it's John here. Where are you based, Chris?
I'm in the UK.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Well, do you have targets in place now for the end of the quarter?
Unsurprisingly, yeah.
Okay, right, okay.
Hey, look, John. I'm kind of at time here.
Yeah, I know how you feel, Chris. I mean, look, I mean, you know, it's all about ROI. It's all about ROI for us, right?
I'm gonna need to run. I've got a meeting to get into.
Chris, one thing I probably would say, I am literally down the road. I think it'd be worthwhile to book out some time, maybe tomorrow, the day after.
All right, look, I've got a bit of time tomorrow. If you're willing to come down, I'll give you 15 minutes.
I think we'll get much more out of the session. We look at half an hour.
I've got to run now, but have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Sorry, Chris. Just one last question, just before you go. Chris, no problem. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I'll send you an invite shortly.
Cheers, John. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh my God. If this was X Factor, I wanted to do that. You know when they do that? And
yeah.
And I wanted to be out. I just want to be out.
But we've got a lot to critique here. That's
I'm not sure we've got the time.
No, but on the one side, like I was sitting there, like thinking, God, I really want him to be doing this better.
For me, I just threw it down here because I was getting bored and I wanted to do something. I've written down here. Thank you for your inquiry. I'd really like to understand why you think a product like can help. Perhaps you could list to me 3 business drivers that will impact your business. And then I just shut up and listen. And then I should be doing 5% of the talking and listening 95% to understand. I just throw out those wide open questions and just draw in the information. But that guy's just talking at you, and the tenaciousness is, we like some tenaciousness, but you'd asked to terminate the call. He's still going on. Now he's trying to get into your office, and then he wants to knock up a den for you. Yeah. I mean, it was just, and to the point it was quite annoying at the end. But
Heath, I think that's a really critical point for salespeople to understand, is that, sensitivity to what the prospect wants is critical. Mm. Because there's 2 things that you said that were really critical. A, you got bored. You got bored because you weren't talking, right? The customer's not talking, they get bored. There's nothing really interesting in that, right? But when the customer wants off, it's time to roll off. But he set out with a goal to get a demo and wasn't going to give up until he got it, right? He was so focused on the demo, he forgot to pick up the actual nuggets of gold that Chris was handing out, right? So that's not uncommon.
And he asked some good questions, but he didn't ask them in the right order, and he didn't get the information he needed out of it.
No.
Yeah. He started with a good open-ended question. You mentioned targets. It would have been great to spend a couple minutes on targets. Yeah. What are your targets? Did you hit them last year? Are you going to hit them this quarter? Right?
Yeah.
Because then he asked the consequence question, which is a great question, but not in the context he asked.
No, exactly.
So it would have been great after digging into the pain.
Yeah.
And then finding that thing out.
Yeah. I mean, I gave him probably a lot more than others would have done.
You didn't. You were feeding him.
I mean, if you break it down beginning, middle, and end, it was actually appalling.
I mean, I wouldn't say appalling, but I think it could have improvements.
Well, he didn't hit his goal.
Nope.
The goal was to get a demo. He knew there was 10 minutes. He completely ran over time. And when he got to the point where your prospect's telling you, I want to end the call, carried on.
Yep.
And that is only rubbing them up the wrong way. At that point, you've got to go, okay, no worries, I'll give you a call back, maybe tomorrow if that's convenient. Something like that. You've got to accept that, not just keep going and going and going.
The other thing I would say about that is I always find that salespeople think the goal is getting the meeting, right? And I always say to people, you get one chance to make a great first impression in that physical meeting, right? And he's going to rush to a meeting tomorrow unprepared.
Yeah.
And so what started off on the wrong foot, right? Had he got himself lined up better, he could correct tomorrow.
Yeah.
But instead, what he's going to do is, probably not close this deal because he didn't win the phone call. And then when he shows up, he'll be unprepared. He won't win the demo.
Because he's unprepared because he doesn't know what the business drivers are.
Yep.
He doesn't know what the pain is. Yep. He doesn't understand the true value or need for you. So how the hell is he going to position it in that demonstration? How does he know what to present to you? He should really cut that call himself and take stock and dial back in the next day. And then he needs to address and understand what the pains are, what are the business drivers, what's important to them. And in that call, he's positioning not just his company, but he's positioning himself for the meeting, the demo. He needs to make sure that the next step, that in that meeting, have we got the decision maker? Have we got the guy who's owns the purse, the money? Is the money going to be in that meeting?
Yeah.
And are the influences that are going to affect the decision going to be in that meeting? That's what he needs to be addressed now.
I think what we just heard from that client probably mirrors
90% of what goes on.
It does.
90% of sales calls that are happening.
You can see the things there, right? They talk way too much.
Yeah.
If you actually did a talk count, and maybe we could do that on that
one.
one.
We could do that.
He talked 80% of the time, right? He didn't, you gave him all the opportunity to find out
which he wouldn't normally get.
What's bugging you? Because you made this inquiry, you had to be thinking something.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about when you made the inquiry? What did you really want?
This is what my first question is like. Let me know. You made the inquiry. What is it you liked? Why did you think that this was going to help you?
Yeah.
Because that's the only reason you're going to buy something, because you're going to fix a problem.
Yeah.
So why do you think that's a good idea?
And I told that guy what the problem was. I mean, it was an obvious question to ask. It's like, I'm the head of sales. It's about money. And he just had to go that extra step to ask, well, you're trying to get from A to B, where's the delta? That was it.
The delta was missing, right?
The gap.
Where's the gap?
And it wasn't a qualification call. He didn't know if it was a good fit.
No.
He wanted to get the demo. To me, it's like, I don't know if this is a good fit or not. Tell me your problem. I don't even know if I can solve your problem yet until you tell me what your real problem is.
I tell you what, why don't we try this? George.
Yes.
Why don't you call us?
Call you?
Yeah. Why don't you ring and show us how it's done?
All right.
Should I do this?
Yeah. Of course I have it.
Doing like an engaged tone.
Of course I have it. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring.
Oh, hi, it's Chris speaking.
Hi, Chris. George Brown from... How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. You?
Pretty good. I tell you, I'm calling you because you put an inquiry into the website about one of our applications that I wanted to take a few minutes to answer those questions. Is now a good time?
It's a great time.
It is? Great.
Yep.
So whenever a customer puts in an inquiry into me around our product, I always wonder what problem were they trying to solve. And so I'm just trying to understand more in your mind, Chris, when you saw our product initially and looked at it, what problem were you thinking it could solve for you?
Well, George, I mean, unsurprisingly, and I run sales. It's a revenue problem. We got a 20% uplift from last year on our targets, and I'm not getting the performance out of my team. So it's a performance issue.
Okay.
I need more sales. We need bigger deals faster.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah,
we all do. But when we say we're not getting the performance, what quarter are you in now? I mean, do we have time to solve it, or do we not have time to solve it?
we have time. I'm in Q1.
Okay.
So I'm midway through Q1 this time.
All right. Now, typically sales forces drop into what I call the Pareto principle, right? 20% to 80% of the volume. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of like your company, or tell me, where's the spread on your sales team now? How many hit the quota? How many don't?
Okay. Actually, about 40% are hitting quota at the moment. 60 not. But I need that 60.
Well, what's your quota average? How much quota are they carrying?
So it's not much. I mean, it's a square million for each head.
And how many heads?
I've got 35 heads.
So that's a $35 million number, 60. So you got about 17.5 million underperforming.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
So with 17.5 million, so if we could help you do, I mean, how much movement do you think could offer you on that 17.5 million? Do you think we could offer 10% of that, or do you think we could actually get all of that up to performing level? What was your hope when you started looking at our tool?
Well, I saw a couple of case studies on the website
Yep.
that were talking between 10 and 25. I think 25% is out of the park. I can't
Yep.
imagine you doing that, but I would be happy if could come in and help us achieve anywhere near a 10%.
Right, so you're really saying, our effect on revenue might be 1.75 million pounds to 4 million pounds. That's really what we're looking for.
Yeah.
This looks like it's a worthwhile investment for both of us to see if we can make that happen. The investment you make in the 30,000, you'll get a payback probably in 30 to 45 days. And then it starts to ramp up quite a bit more aggressively after.
Great. So we could potentially impact Q1. I mean, our targets are annual targets. I just want a fast start. I don't need the guys to do the target in Q1, but
I hate being behind.
Yeah, me too.
Ending Q1, I understand. So let me tell you, the biggest problems we have, I mean, we could literally get you live probably by February, well, we can't, February 1st is tomorrow, but say February 15th. Can you tell me, what would you anticipate would be roadblocks in your organization?
There are no roadblocks. I can sign this off myself.
All right. So when would you like to get started?
You said Valentine's Day.
Hey.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's how a call should go. Isn't it? I mean, you're not going to get to the point where you're closing the deal on the
You
first
might,
one.
though. He would give me an objection there. But I was
At
looking
least
for
one.
You're going
At least want to be
you're
taken
gonna
out for
want a
dinner
little
first.
You're going to want to, you want a little bit of dancing and
a little
and
bit
like
of
dinner
dancing.
first.
Tried to rush me down the aisle.
Yeah.
But
Did you feel pressured when I asked you that question?
No, I don't think
no,
that's
not
true.
really. No.
But I think
You were
we had
probably respecting me because you're a sales guy too, right?
What George did really well is before asking the question, he showed a little bit of expertise, but he didn't try to position the product. He just said, hey, this is what I sometimes see. Then he asked a great open-ended question and then shut up.
Yeah.
And so he didn't just ask the question, but then he laid it out there really well.
Yeah, and I think that's a super point. I mean, salespeople just feel they need to talk and talk and talk and talk and
Yeah.
talk and I always say, the answers are all in that other person's head. You just have to get them out.
Yeah.
It's all there. It's not inside your head.
Yeah, and you gave me real quantifiable numbers for a business case that allowed me to reduce it to the ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're not going to invest 30,000 pounds even on a 1.75
Yeah.
million upside. I mean, you're nuts.
And I mean, we are talking a very neat scenario here where you're talking to someone that owns a revenue number. And I know it's not always as straightforward as that if you're selling different solutions, but the principle is the same. You have to get to a point where you can quantify the value. Otherwise, you're never going to sell anything.
No deal. And I asked you for roadblocks, right? I'm anticipating
Yeah, I like
roadblocks.
that. I like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I know I'm going to
Yeah.
get one, and that's what slows down sales, closes. It's not that you don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
It's that you don't want him to buy it, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a lay of the land. Where are we going to stub our toe on this?
Yeah.
And then I was looking for who else I had to call, to be honest. If you would have said, well, he's the finance guy, he's probably not going to like it, I said, well, do you mind if I call?
Yeah, and I've always liked that way that you can make it a joint effort as well. It's like we're in this together now.
Yep.
You want to achieve it. I want you to achieve it. How are we going to do it?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Have you done that before?
Yeah.
Oh, this is my first time.
Was it?
This is my first
He's
sales
looking for a
ever.
job, right?
I'm a marketing guy. I have no idea how to sell anything.
No.
Well, look, chaps, that's fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Absolutely great. And I think most companies we'd find the same thing because it's that 80-20% rule, isn't it? So thank you for that. That was great. So if you're sitting there watching and thinking, how would your team fare? We'd love to hear from you.